So today, let's see remaining part, the miser, first language English, class 8th. Uh, 8th. Now, it so happened that when all this was going on, Saka, the king of the gods and ruler of the heavens, peeped out of his magnificent palace high in the heavens. In all the aeons I have lived through, I have never seen such a terrible miser. He cried, it is time that I teach him a lesson. See, God also so watching his activities. Okay, so his miserness. So how this person's miserness, so very miserness is there. Okay, so God think in that time. Okay, so I teach him a lesson. Okay, so which lesson? He thought he teach. Okay, so let's see the ninth paragraph. The next day, when Surender went for his morning walk, okay, Sakka assumed Surender's own form and walked in through his front door. See, so after morning, Surender, okay, so as usual, so he moved to his morning walk. Okay, so on that time, Sakka, okay, the god, okay, the king of the gods, Sakka, so he assumed Surendra's own form. Okay, so how Surendra's look like? Okay, so God also, so he also so look like as a Surendra. Okay, so and he walked through his the front door. So after moving to Surendra, so the god Saka, okay, he came to so his house. So 10th paragraph. Today I am going to share my wealth, he said to an astonished Vandana. See, so this sentence is said by God Sakka. Okay, so through open the door of my treasure houses and invite all the townsfolk to take what they wish. Bless your change of heart, Vandana exclaimed delightedly. To the make believe surrenders, she dispatched a servant immediately to summon all the people and threw open the doors of a huge barns. See, God came disguised as Surendra. Okay, so God came disguised as Surendra. So after coming to God, okay, so in Surendra's house, okay, so today I am going to share my wealth. Okay, so that God, okay, so that God said by this sentence, because so God came disguised as Surendra. Okay, say next what happened, he said to astonished Vandana after saying to Vandana, so to open the doors of my treasure house. Okay, so you must open my treasure house, so whatever the people want, they must take and move. Okay, and invite all the townsfolk, so you must invite, okay, so in this town members to take what they wish, so whatever they want, so they must take and move. Okay, so bless you change of heart. See, so Vandana exclaimed, okay, so after listening this sentence, delightedly to the make believe Surrender, she dispatched a servant immediately to summon all the peoples and threw open the doors of the huge barns. See, Surendra is stock, okay, so the treasures, okay, so he stock all his wealth. Okay, so after listening this Vandana, so exclaimed. So next 11th paragraph. Soon the common people arrived, running as fast as they could. The make-believe Surender stood at the door of the barn and invited them in. Take as much as you can, he cried heartedly. Okay, see. So after what will happen? So all the that village peoples, okay, so all that village peoples came to the Surendra's house. Okay, so what they want, okay, so they came and take so gold, so any other jewelries, so money, okay, they take, so whatever they wish, okay, so take and they move. Okay, so 12th paragraph, do not be afraid. Okay, so if an impostor who looks like me comes to threaten and stop you, drive him away fearlessly. Okay, this sentence said by the God. Okay, this sentence said by the God. Okay, so already you know God came disguised as Surendra. Yes, so that God says, okay, so do not afraid, don't afraid people. So if an imposter, okay, so who looks like me, okay, so if they came, if that person is came or to threaten and stop you, okay, if they stop you, so you must drive him away, so fearlessly, don't fear, okay, to anyone. So that God say to the sentence to the people. So next, third paragraph, the amazed and overjoyed townfolk left into the barn and began to grab the hoarded treasure. They filled their plugging pockets and bags till they could hold no more and were ready to go back when the real Surenders arrived. Already you know. Okay, so he is not a Surender. He is an imposter of Surender. Okay, so after walking, finished the walking, the Surendra, the real Surendra was arrived. Okay, so in their home, so he almost fainted with shock to see the doors of his treasure houses thrown open and his precious hoard being merrily plundered. See, all the people are gathered in their home. Okay, so they take, so whatever they want, gold, jewelry, so money, so whatever they want, okay, they take and they moved ready to move to their homes. But the real Surendras arrived at their home, so after he gets shocked. Okay, so what was happening in my home? Okay, so why all people gathered here? Okay, already treasured door is already opened. Okay, she was shocked, a little bit shocked. See, 14. Thieves, robbers, he cried wildly, running forward in rage. See, said the people, this must be the impostor we were warned about after him. They began to chase the real Surendra. See, what will happen here after coming real Surendra, that real Surender say to about the people. So thieves, robbers, he cried because so his stock, his wealth, okay, his stock is jewelries, golds, okay. So but so now all the people, okay, so taken that gold jewelries, okay, so then real Surenders a little bit cried and also sad, so widely running forward in race. See, the people, okay, that villagers, they think, so this must the impostor we were warned about already, that God, okay, God Saka warned, if the impostor of me like this, if they came, so you must, okay, so you must fearlessly drive him away. Okay, so people understood that and they began to chase the real Surendra. See what will happen here. So real Surendra, okay, the people chased. Okay, a bewildered Surendra ran to the king's palace where he threw himself before the king. So, Your Majesty, he cried in anguish, I am being robbed and looted of all my treasure by the people of the town. When I protested, they began to chase me. Okay, so after a real surrender, okay, so he ran to the king's palace and say about the all the stories. Okay, so what was happened in the previously. Okay, he said the stories to the king. Okay, so Your Majesty, so he cried in anguish. Okay, so he already saw that situation. Okay, so all the village peoples, okay, they what they want and take the moon. Okay, so I am being robbed and looted all my treasures. Okay, so by the people of the in this town. So when I protested, they began to chase me. So that's why now I am here. Okay. So but I heard your own servant invited them to do so. The king exclaimed. The king said, okay, so you only tell to that sentence. Okay, so I distribute our wealth. Okay, so today I am going to share my wealth. Okay, so that's why they all the people came and gathered to your home. Okay, so the king exclaimed. The king said, did you not give him the order yourself? That the king said to the Surendra. So if you only tell like that, so that's why all the peoples gathered and take what they want. So now you are telling, so I don't say like that. Okay, so never, said Surenders, uttering a strangled cry. Let the one who gave the order be brought here at once. Okay, so that king said, so who gave that order? Okay, so if you not, so who gave that order? 16th paragraph. The king sent a messenger to Surendra's house, and soon the make believe Surendras arrived with Vandana and the children's. See, after what will happen, the king said, okay, so messengers, so king sent the messengers, so move to Surendra's house and bring that Surendra and wives and sons. And that time the messengers they reached their homes, and messengers with the Surendra's wife and children, they came. After coming in king's house, the real Surendra shrinked with he saw the impostor. See what will happen, real Surendra, okay, a little bit he was shrinked. Why? So imposter, so he's imposter only he saw. Okay, so who are a fraud, he cried, both are same. Okay, so imposter. See, the make believe Surrender glad back at him, now it is you who is the deceiver. Okay, so we must find out in that both. Okay, so who is the real Surrenders? See, 17th paragraph. The puzzled king looked from one to the other. I can't tell the difference between the two, he told a speechless Vandana. Okay, that the king is shocked after seeing both. Okay, so imposter of the both. Okay, so both look like same. Okay, so how we identified he is a real Surender, he is not a real Surender. Okay, see, king, so this task given to that her wife only. Okay, so his wife only. See, so now you have to decide which one is your husband. That king said to Vandana. So Vandana, so you must find out so your real husband. Okay, so in these two members. Okay, so in these two peoples. So 18th paragraph. I shall ask them each a question, your majesty. So Vandana asked, okay, Vandana, so say about that king. Okay, so majesty, so with your permission, so can I ask some questions? Hmm? So Vandana replied quietly. She turned to the god Sakka and asked. So after that, Vandana turned to that god Sakka. It is better to generous to yourself, your family, your neighbors and friends, or your servants. Okay, so she asked questions. So if generous is better, okay, to your family, your neighbors and friends. Paragraph 19. To all, Sakka replied promptly, when you are generous, others also become generous, and so everyone is so happy and prosperous. So the sentence said by the god Sakka, okay, with the impostors of the Surenders. Then she turned to Surender, okay, so after he turned a real Surenders. It is better to be generous to yourself, your family, your neighbors and friends, or your servants. See, what is the answer a real Surenders gave? 20 paragraph. To none, Surender solved in a wrath, being generous only waste precious wealth that can be never recovered. So real Surender said this. So if we are a generous, so our wealth is gone. Okay, so everyone take our wealth and move their home. Okay, so it is not good to be a generous, be a kind. Okay, so this real Surender said to that Vandana. Okay, so his wife. So Vandana gathered her children's clothes and squaring her shoulders, she drew close to God Sakka. See, after saying that we are real surrenders, so Vandana and Vandana's children's, okay, so little bit near move to that God Sakka, okay, impostor of the surrender. Your Majesty, she said solemnly, this is my true husband Surender. Okay, so he also, okay. So that Vandana also so moved that God Surendar's Sakka, God Surender, okay, God Sakka, okay, the imposter of the Surender, okay, so he slowly moved to the God Sakka. Surender let out an agonized cry of grief and disbelief. No, my dear wife and children's. At this, God Sakka stepped forward and with a blinding flash of light reverted to his original form. See, after what will happen? So she moved to near into the God, okay, God Sakka. So at that time, God Sakka, so he showed his real face, okay, so blinding flash of the light, okay, and he convert into real form. Real form means a God form, God Sakka form. So next one, 21st paragraph. See, 21st paragraph. I am not Surender, but Sakka himself. He said to the king, I came down from the heavens just to teach this petty and means miser lesson. See, Surender is very miser. Okay, so that's why that God. Okay, so he came, he showed his original form. Okay, so that God said to the king, okay, so I am not a real Surender, so I am a God Sakka. So why I came here? So I teach a lesson for that miser. Okay, so miser Surender. So that's why I wore. Okay, so his face. Okay, so that's why. So I teach him a lesson. Okay, so that's why I came. Okay, so the sentence said by the God Sakka. He turned to the trembling and Obegon Surendurs and said, do you see what you miserliness had done? Even your own wife and children do not want you. That God said. Okay, that God teach a lesson to that real Surendra. See, so if you are miserness, so how miserness he was. Okay, so your children's and your wife also, okay, so not interested with you, okay, because so he was very miserness. Okay, so don't give a single coin, single rupees also. Okay, so that type of very miserness. Tears sprang into Surendra's eyes. Okay, so and he sobbed inconsolably. Your only hope for salvation is for you to stop being a miser. Okay. Sakka said, can you bring yourself to be more generous? Surendra paused. Yes, he said reluctantly. I will try to be a little more generous. See, okay. So after this happened, so he realized. Okay, so real Surendra realized. Okay, so if generous, if kind is very important in our life. Okay, so so you will have to be a lot more generous, warned Sakka, or I will be back for you. God Sakka vanished in a cloud of smoke. Surendra embraced his wife and children happily. See, okay, so already, so this God, okay, God Sakka teach a lesson to that Surendra. Okay, I am so relieved that his order is over, he told Vandana. Shall we celebrate? Vandanas asked shyly. I can make dozens of laddus. Okay. So dozens of laddus. The word rose sharply to Surendra's lips. Once more he felt faint at the thought of all the expense, but he clenched his fist and shouted the words that came spontaneously to his tongue. Instead, he nodded his head and said very softly, "Very well." Okay, see now all the miserness was finished. Okay, so now is generous, kind. Okay, so after teaching that lesson to God's account. Okay, so after, so this is the your lesson. Okay, so the miser. Okay, so how that Surendra's miserness. Okay, so after teaching a lesson, so how he become a kind and become a generous. Okay, so this is all about your lesson. Okay, so the miser. Okay, so I hope you understood this lesson. So if you understood this lesson, so please like, share, comment and subscribe to our channel. So thanks for watching. So keep watching my videos, so like this. Thank you.